The Great Migration and the Harlem Renaissance. African Americans escaped from the racism of the South and the creation of a culture of their own. Between the 1880s and the early 1960s, over 3,500 African Americans, along with many whites who supported them, were lynched, meaning someone would be taken away by a mob and hanged, burned at the stake, or shot. This was done as a way to intimidate or control a group of people into not exercising their rights, such as voting, or to punish someone accused of a crime but without any sense of a trial. In order to escape this violence and racism, somewhere around 5 million and 7 million African Americans escaped the South for job opportunities in northern cities. Of 6 southern states who had an African American population of more than 40% in 1910, only one had an African American population of more than 30% by 1970. This movement of African Americans to the north is called the Great Migration. When African Americans moved north, they looked to the bigger cities such as Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, and New York City. They were often recruited for industrial jobs in these cities, especially between 1916 and 1918, as white workers joined the military during World War I. Many times entire families moved north, allowing them to find a better education for their children, as well as a true opportunity to vote. However, this did not mean an end to segregation or discrimination for African Americans, as many other groups, among them the recent immigrant groups to those cities, were afraid that with more workers available, wages would go down. Housing for African Americans, when available at all, would be in segregated sections of cities, including Harlem in New York City. When African Americans got to Harlem, they took advantage of their newfound freedom to create a new culture for themselves. The poetry of Langston Hughes, the literature of Zora Neale Hurston, the jazz of Duke Ellington, and the art of Jacob Lawrence became the centerpiece works of what would be known as the Harlem Renaissance. The Renaissance lasted really only during the decade of the 1920s, and, while named for the area of New York City where it started, its impact could be seen in African American art and culture across the northern United States. Even though it did not mean the end to segregation or discrimination, it did provide some freedom of expression for African Americans that they did not have before. This freedom of expression would be the first step of many taken by African Americans toward earning their equality.